20 years ago, Washington was rocked. New Jersey Senator Robert Torricelli, the Torch, was caught being bribed by a South Korean. Grandfather clocks, $10,000 watches, Oriental rugs, and Italian suits, obviously. Here was the Torch.
I have never, ever done anything at any time to betray the trust of the people of the state of New Jersey. Never.
Now New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez has picked up the torch and run with it. Menendez is the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and today he was charged with accepting bribes in exchange for influencing foreign relations.
Today I'm announcing that my office has obtained a 3-count indictment charging Senator Robert Menendez. The senator and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes in exchange for Senator Menendez using his power and influence to protect and to enrich those businessmen and to benefit the government of Egypt.
3 counts: bribery, fraud, and extortion. But instead of sending the bribes through a maze of shell companies like the Bidens, Menendez got gold bars delivered to his house.
The FBI executed search warrants on the residence and safe deposit box of Senator Menendez and Nadine Menendez in New Jersey. When they got there, they discovered approximately $500,000 of cash stuffed into envelopes and closets. Some of the cash was stuffed in the senator's jacket pockets. That's not all. Agents also discovered a lot of gold. And the FBI, of course, found the Mercedes-Benz.
So you can see the Bidens now snickering at Gold Bar Bob. Can you believe this guy? I mean, at least Hunter lost the diamond. The FBI found gold bars in Bob's safe. The FBI found $500,000 in cash stuffed in official Senator Menendez windbreakers hanging in his closet. What's that doing there? Was it too lumpy under your mattress? The Egyptians bought them a Mercedes. There it is, parked in his driveway. But the conspiracy began with Nadine Menendez, his second wife. Gold Bar Bobby proposed at the Taj Mahal in India. Classic Bob move.
Would never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, and it'll never be enough, never be enough.
And it was never enough for Nadine. She wanted more, more, more. Nadine introduced the senator to an Egyptian trio. Michelin-rated restaurants followed. Then it was a trip to Egypt, meetings with Egyptian intelligence and military officials. Now, as chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Gold Bar Bob held sway over arms packages and foreign aid. Gold Bar was leveraging billions in American aid in exchange for family bribes and no-show jobs. Now, where have I heard that before? Just like the Bidens, their text messages. Gold Bar Bob also tried shutting down investigations into the business partners who were bribing him. Menendez was trying to plant the right prosecutor in office to look the other way so that the money would keep flowing. God, this just sounds so familiar. And the whole time he was compromised by foreign agents. He was accusing other people of being foreign agents.
The American people deserve to know who they elected to be their president. They deserve to know if he's in fact putting America's interests first. And they deserve to know if Donald Trump is, wittingly or unwittingly, an agent for the Russian Federation.
Menendez was an agent of Egypt, accusing Trump of being an agent of Russia. So the question is, why was the Biden administration taking down Menendez at all? And why now? Because the FBI raided Menendez's house last year. Menendez has been walking around Washington knowing Biden's agents have a stack of his gold bars, ready to drop at any minute. God, Biden must have been squeezing Bob. And then they dropped these gold bars on Menendez a week before the Joe Biden impeachment inquiry opens into bribery. Is this so that they can say, now that's real bribery over there? Joe Biden was never caught with gold bars and cash shoved into his windbreaker. And you know this was a partisan prosecution because the Southern District of New York indicted Gold Bar Bob, not the U.S. Attorney in New Jersey. Or was Menendez just a thorn in Biden's side? Because remember, the Obama-Biden Justice Department indicted Menendez on bribery, but he skated on a hung jury. Now, it makes sense when you realize Menendez doesn't want to open Cuba. Biden does. Menendez hates the Iran deal. Biden wants back in. Menendez loves Israel. Biden, not so much. Menendez was dead set against Venezuelan amnesty, and Biden just gave 500,000 Venezuelan Social Security numbers. So Menendez is cooked, and President Biden has a wider lane in foreign affairs now. But we're getting to know Joe Biden, aren't we? He sees an obstacle, and he doesn't move around it. He removes it. Trump, indicted. Menendez, indicted. Minnie Madoff took the money, indicted. Elon Musk, investigated 4 times. The indictment's coming. You're unvaxxed, you're fired. Biden's cagier than we give him credit for. He did exactly what Bob Menendez did, but every time investigators got close, they were obstructed. Hunter was tipped off, and the CIA and the FBI covered for him. Think about it. The Bidens were getting bribed with diamonds. The Menendezes were getting bribed with gold bars. The Bidens were getting paid in Porsches. The Menendezes were getting paid in Benzes. The Bidens were getting no-show jobs. The Menendezes were getting no-show jobs. The Bidens were going to business dinners with foreign clients. The Menendezes were going to business dinners with foreign clients. The Bidens took the cash in wire transfers, though. The Menendezes took the cash in cash. The Bidens hid the bribes in shell companies. The Menendezes hid the bribes in their windbreakers. They both tried swapping in a new prosecutor. They both used foreign aid to squeeze cash out of countries. They both used encrypted apps to conduct the conspiracy. Same result, selling out the country for personal profit. Even the charge would be the same: conspiring to abuse an official position and inducing payments from it. So, what's the difference between a Menendez and a Biden? Nobody F's with a Biden.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.